Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Oh yeah, happy Cinco de Mayo. I tell
Forget
you,
about holidays sometimes.
all the time, all the time.
Yeah. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Oh yeah, happy Cinco de Mayo.
God, that's you playing. I can hear you.
What'd you say?
I said I can hear the video playing.
Yeah, I just got rid of it. I think
Oh,
it's
nice.
We've made it. Love y'all. Have fun. I'll see you. I like watching on YouTube.
Yeah, me
Otherwise-
too. Monster.
Bye, guys. Good luck. I'm going to do
Bye.
better than you. Better do good. I'm going to pull out an STA tonight. Have fun. Talk to you soon.
See it. He said he was going to pull up an STA tonight.
I think he was trying to call a shot. Yeah, it was unrealistic and awkward possibility. I mean, how would you even do that? Like in a friendly way, but we'll find out. That's what said he was going to do it.
I was calling my shot in my head today on my way to IKEA. So that's where I just came back from. I had to drive 20 minutes up there to go get the last part of our bed.
You were like, I'm going to get a bed today.
No. I'm not going to call my shots out loud. We're just going to keep them in my head for now.
Okay. I think that's the whole idea of calling your shots is you actually let other people know what's about to happen.
No, just me, man. Just me, myself, and I. That's all it needs to know.
All right.
Until it happens.
Declaration.
Yes, a declaration that I'm calling a shot, but y'all don't get to find out what it is yet.
Yeah, so there's only 3 people registered? That doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Very.
Well, we'll find out. I figured this is a better first screen than turn on your mic.
No, that's the best one that I've seen so far. That's great.
Yeah, I redid the slides today to totally do something different after last night's performance. Even though it was 25% continue to explore percentage,
I know you can be happy about that, but
yeah.
Do the ends justify the means? Probably.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll beg all day if it creates a world that makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't have any ego involved in it, but I know that it can be done in style too. Well, at least I would like to believe that it can be done in style. And so that's what this is for.
Style.
Yeah. I've never really been a style points type person.
Doing backflips at the front door isn't style.
I mean, maybe if I would have put a twist in there.
Oh, right.
I would have called a backflip and did a fool. That would have done it. I'm still learning.
Stop bragging. I can't do a flip.
Well, I was about to say you're super athletic, but I think you have to work on your knee.
I need to work on my knee. Yeah.
Mr. Cook. Mr. Cook, can you join us on camera and microphone for this Ovanova solar exploration experience? It'd be way more fun.
All right, hold on a sec.
You got that figured out quick. You must be zooming professionally.
Yeah, for my home-based business.
What do you do?
We have a financial business to where we help people save money and make money, life insurance, investments, make sure they're properly insured.
Cool. Yeah, I heard about something like that. I can't remember what it was called. It was like Helping Hands or not Helping Hands. What's yours called?
Primerica.
Oh, okay. It may be somewhat related, but thank you for your service to humanity, Mr. Cook.
Yes, sir.
Nice. We only have 3 people registered for this slot, so this will be super quick and fun and easy, and 2 out of the 3 have already shown up. But we're just going to get started since that would be on time for folks who are on time. Beatrice, thanks for joining us. You're muted. I'll try to unmute.
Hi, sorry about that. Hi.
Thank you for joining us. I know how crazy and wild it is for parents. So we're just super grateful that you showed up tonight. So we're going to get started right now. But before we do, I'm just going to take a moment of silence so you guys can read this slide. A lot of people haven't come to a solar exploration experience before. So that's what this first slide is about, just to let you know that you're not the only one. Can I get a thumbs up when you've completed reading the words? Por favor, please. Beatrice is the fastest reader, and she knows how to use the thumbs up too. Wow. Do you use Zoom all the time as well?
I teach on Zoom all day.
Super cool. You're a teacher.
Yes.
For EKB?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks for coming. Well, okay. So I know teachers are even more busy. So let's go ahead and jump into this. This is Team Ovanova, guys. I'm John Carey. Hello. Thank you for being here. I'm one of the founders of this thing. We've been doing it for over 6 years, having a ton of fun. So we've been supporting communities, donating to their supporters when they show up to learn about solar. We've talked to thousands of people just like you guys, and we've helped people go solar in 15 states so far. So Luke's on with us tonight. He's one of the fellow humans that sent you guys a solar design in your email. You should have got that sometime yesterday or sometime today. If you didn't, please let us know. It was intended to be in your inbox by now. Holly, she helped out with that a ton. She's on Team Ovanova, and Trey as well. So this is Team Ovanova, but we're not important. What we do is. And so just to be super clear, earlier today, you should have gotten an email with a custom solar design. Mr. Cook, did you get one of those?
I would have to check my email. I've been pretty busy today. I didn't even look at it.
Okay. Well, if you knew you had a custom solar design in your inbox that told you what your tax credit would be and how much you could save by going solar, would that be something you'd want to find and open?
Yeah, I'll look for it shortly.
Cool, man. Yeah, and if you don't see it in your inbox, check your spam box. And if you don't see it in either one of those, you can reply to any contact that you've had from Ovanova, and we'll make sure to get it to you ASAP.
Okay.
Beatrice, did you happen to see anything roll in?
Yeah, I got it. I saw it.
Did you find any moments to open that bad boy up?
Yes, I did actually this morning. I got it last night, so I opened it this morning in between classes and I looked at it.
Cool. We always love it when people look at what we create for them. It's like one of your students coming up and be like, how do you say your last name, by the way? Mrs. Zeraluki?
Zeraluki, yeah. Zeraluki.
Zeraluki, okay. So yeah. The kids call you Mrs. Zeraluki, or they call you Mrs.
No, they
Z?
call me Miss Z. Yeah.
Like, Mrs. Z, look what I drew for you. You know, we drew that design for you. It may not be what you want, but it's easy to change it. And also tomorrow, because you guys actually did what you said you wanted tonight, we're going to send you another spreadsheet that shares with you all the details. I know you're paying attention. I'm just going to mute you just so it's easy. Yeah, you're great, Ms. Z. Thanks for being here. So tomorrow you'll get what's called open book pricing, and all that's doing is actually breaking down your solar cost, so you know where every penny of your money would go if you chose to go solar, down to even what we would earn. So it tells you how much your panels cost, the total per panel, how much the equipment to mount it to your roof so it wouldn't blow away during a hurricane would cost, even what we think shipping would be. And so it's all broken down for you so you can actually see all the pieces of going solar. So that's just kind of a more detailed synopsis. It's even going to share with you if you wanted batteries so you could keep your lights on after a hurricane, what the cost of that would be. So either way, that's just our gift to you guys. Even if you got off now, you know that you have that, right? But tonight, the point of this is we're just going to talk about 4 simple, very basic solar concepts. It's not going to take more than 10 minutes. It's just going to help you guys understand like how solar works when the sun's not shining. We found a lot of people they're missing information. It's helpful for them. Everybody will get a chance to introduce themselves. There's only 2 of you guys tonight. Normally there's like a group of 8 to 10. So this might take 2 minutes and not 8 minutes. Okay, so we're going to be out of here soon. Don't worry. And then there's a Q&A, and that's just up to you. Sometimes folks like us so much, we're on with them for an hour and they schedule another Zoom call to keep talking with us. And sometimes people, this ain't their first rodeo and they just came for that solar quote because they've been getting lots of quotes and they wanted to see how great of an offer we would give. So totally up to you, but either way, this is something, just wanted to be as blatant as we possibly could. Ovanova's mission statement is to be the best. I always say the best organization in the world, but to add as much value as possible to as many lives as possible. And we think giving resources to community organizations like EKB is one way to add value. We think that helping people learn about solar technology is another. And what we do individually matters. So my request of you guys is for the next couple minutes while we're covering the basics of solar energy, do the best that you guys can to really pay attention and focus on what's being said, because we've been doing this for 6 years and we found that the only real reason that most people are not using solar energy is because they're just missing information and they're so busy, they don't have time to even receive that information. So you guys made it here tonight. If we can just take like 8 to 10 minutes of laser focus, it may actually not just impact you personally in a big way, but your home, your school, your community, policy, and really a future that just makes a lot of sense. And so thank you guys for being here. We're jumping into those 4 basic concepts, and I'm going to ask these questions to you guys. So I'm not going to cover something that you guys already know. I absolutely despise having my time wasted, and I'm sure you guys do too. So I don't want to preach at you. I'm curious. Do you guys know how solar works when it's cloudy or rainy or when it's dark outside?
No.
Is it stored energy that like it stores it and then it uses the stored?
Thank you for giving it a shot. So solar panels do not store energy. They only generate it. So maybe that's one reason why a lot of folks, why you guys don't see solar on every house in your neighborhood, because electricity is so important. If we don't have the answer to that question and we think we could run out of electricity when it's cloudy or when it's dark, shoot, I wouldn't get solar either, because I like to have my lights on all the time and I like to keep my fridge cold all the time. So we're going to dive into that one. So that sounds like something we should talk about. I won't skip over that one. I'm curious, have you guys ever heard that solar can save you money? Has that ever been like that ever crossed yours? So could anybody explain how, because have you guys ever heard that solar is expensive? Yeah, right. Yeah. I got 2 numbers in from both of you guys. Yeah. So I'm curious, either one of you guys, how can you reconcile something being expensive and saving you money at the same time?
It's expensive to install.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 90, thank you for saying that, by the way. And these are, again, this is the reason we find solar panels aren't on every roof. My wife and I, we went solar and we had our panels installed and activated, and there was no installation cost up front. It was zero up front. About 90% of our customers don't pay anything up front to have their panels installed and activated, so they're generating electricity. And then because they're generating electricity, they don't have to pay the utility company for electricity, so they're not actually picking up an extra bill either. So it's like, you know, when you stopped renting your last place and you started paying yourself a mortgage, you didn't pay a rental payment and a mortgage payment. You just took your rent money and put it towards mortgage. So you know, that's what it sounds like we should touch a little bit on the finances as well, because it sounds like you guys haven't heard of being able to go solar for zero down and saving money day one. Is that kind of new news to you guys as well?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll touch on it. I'm not going to preach about this stuff, but I want to make sure you guys at least have access to some foundational data that would allow you to explore it further if you wanted to. Okay. Does anybody know how we would determine how many solar panels you would need, which really determines how much your solar would cost?
About a square footage of the roof.
Cool. I'm glad. Thank you guys for contributing and guessing these things. So, have you guys ever known anybody with a really big house to have a really small electricity bill, and anybody with a really small house to have a really big electricity bill?
Mm,
Well, maybe people don't talk about their energy bills very often. The square footage is correlative to how much electricity a home will use, but it is not definitive when it comes to how much electricity a home will use. How many solar panels you need and how much it's going to cost for you to go solar is based on how much electricity you need to produce. And usually a larger house needs to produce more electricity, but that is not always the case. Some people heat their house with gas. And so they have and so there's all sorts of interesting things. But what it comes down to is, how much electricity do you need for your family, Mr. Cook? And that's going to determine how many panels you need, and that's going to determine the cost. And
okay.
so you guys remember when you registered, you guys guessed a number for your average electricity bill?
Yeah.
So that custom quote we gave you was based on your guess about how much electricity that you need to produce. So if you were off by 10 or 20 bucks a month, which people frequently are off by more than that, then our custom design and the numbers we gave you will be off. We found somebody who was off by $50 last week, and their design was off by $9,000 when we tightened everything up and actually looked at their utility needs for the year. And so just be aware that the number we gave you is not your end all be all. If you were spot on with your guess about your monthly bill, then we were spot on with our quote. But usually it's a little bit off, and no problem. So great. Thank you guys I appreciate you guys paying attention. This is literally our best shot at adding as much value as possible to as many lives as possible. We're just redirecting marketing dollars that would have been spent on a salesperson knocking on your door or a telemarketer calling you, or a Google ad or a Facebook ad about solar. And we're giving it to EKB and other community organizations in order to educate people on solar energy. So it's just a new way to help people go solar, where it actually is cost prohibitive to not use solar energy, because there's no built-in soft costs like sales commissions and advertising, and we don't mark up equipment, we don't mark up labor. So it makes it one of those things where people actually lose money month to month by not transitioning to solar energy. So last question is, are you guys familiar with like the type of maintenance that needs to be done on solar, or any other unforeseen expenses that might come along with it?
No.
Okay, so this one is one of the things that folks don't really think about until they get enough data where they're like, wow, solar's cool. It makes sense logically and financially, but what's the catch? So I just want to be clear. The first solar panels were invented in 1954 by Bell Labs, so the United States. It was a US invention. The first solar cells are still functioning to this day. Panels that are here that you would buy now come with a 25-year warranty. So that's the minimum warranty on a solar panel. They have 0 moving parts. You will not need to oil change them. I haven't cleaned mine ever. It rains, keeps them clean enough. Again, based on my best knowledge about maintenance and upkeep on solar panels is there is zero. We've been doing this and working with community organizations, schools and churches for 6 years. If we were fibbing to folks all day, we'd have been kicked out by now. So as far as the worst possible thing that could happen when it comes to if you got solar equipment is maybe a squirrel could like chew a wire off of a solar panel. And in that case, it's not covered under your 25-year manufacturer's warranty. And it's not like an act of God, like a hurricane that rips your roof off your house where you have coverage for that. It would also cover your solar panels if there was like a hailstorm or something. So that could be like one of the worst things that would be an unforeseen expense, would be like a squirrel chewing your wire. And Ovanova recognizes that those types of fears could hold back solar energy. So we have an Ovanova assurance fund to be able to help homeowners out when stuff like that happens if they use our service to go solar. But I'm gonna, now that we've kind of ran through like a quick deal right here, the only one it sounds like we can cover enough, at least preliminary data on, would be how does solar work when it's cloudy, rainy, or dark outside. So I'm gonna touch on that, let you guys introduce yourself and just say who you're here to support and ask any questions. And then if you wanna hang out, please do. I'll answer questions all night. Otherwise, Luke's going to put a link in the chat box right now because I know Mrs. Z that there's probably never a good time for a mom and a teacher, And Mr. Cook, I know that you're just like I am. You're a fellow human, and you've got dishes to wash and a yard to take care of and a home to keep up and a job to do, a business to run. So I just want to let you guys know that it is really easy to reconnect with us. You can click a link and pick a time on Zoom, and we can tighten up your design, get your energy usage right, tell you exactly how many panels you need whenever you like. But this is one of those things, guys, just to be clear, the more you look into, the more you'll be upset that you didn't make the transition earlier. And I'll close with why in a second, but let me just make sure the science is clear. So we talked about what happens after it gets dark or rainy or cloudy. So I'm gonna make this statement, and then please ask some questions if it doesn't make sense. So you are connected to the power company like you have always been when you go solar. So your electricity will be just as reliable as it has always been. So when it's dark, rainy, cloudy, you will not run out and your lights won't flicker. It'll be exactly like it was. So is there any questions about that statement? Anything that comes up?
No.
Okay, so how do we get rid of our electricity bill if we're still connected to the utility company?
The less we use, the more that they can keep, and it lessens because we actually give energy back to them.
Yeah, Mr. Cook, exactly. So during the day when the sun is shining, while the panels don't store energy, they generate it. And they generate so much that your house cannot use all of it. So the excess is actually sold back to the utility company. That's why you'll have a bi-directional utility meter. It actually counts up your excess generation, and you get a credit with the power company. Any idea why the power company would be willing to buy your energy from you? They sell energy. Why would they buy?
Well, that's less they got to put on their grid, and they can give it to another house or another community.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because usually electricity is generated a couple hundred miles from your house, and they lose over half of that electricity in transmitting it down the power line such long distances. So they make out like a bandit if you can produce it from free sunshine, and then they can sell it to your next door neighbors. So what's good about that for you is you have these credits. So after dark or when it's cloudy or rainy and you're not producing enough, you can actually use those credits instead of using US dollars for that electricity. And so What there definitely will be some times, this is like a monthly chart right here, where you're producing more than you need, and it's like rollover minutes. You just get to trade in those excess tokens during the times when you're not producing enough. And if you're succeeding to produce 100% of your electricity, the only thing that's left to pay the electricity company is the customer charge, right? Is the monthly fee to stay connected to the utility grid. It looks like, Mr. Cook, you have Duke.
Yes.
Yeah, so Duke's is $12 a month. This is a Duke customer. So that means like if you could get rid of your entire electricity bill minus $12 a month. And FPL customers, I believe it's $8.32. Luke, will you look on the utility by utility sheet? Because it might be $15, but it'd be good. Just thank you. So Mrs. Z, we designed a system for you that produces 102% of the energy that you need. That's what your design will say when you open it up and scrutinize it. And Mr. Cook, your design makes 101% of the electricity that you need. So if you were to choose a financing option, like people get their iPhones, you guys know people can like get an iPhone 0 down. They just walk out of the store with it without paying anything up front. You didn't know that?
No.
Mrs. Z, have you heard of this wild thing in 2021? I'm always so surprised at I have gotten like 8 iPhones and I've never once paid cash for one at the store. I've just walked out and then they just let me pay for it 1 month at a time. Is that how you did yours, Missy? Okay, yeah. So is it 100% believable that you guys could do the same thing with solar panels? You could actually have them installed, activated, and pay nothing up front?
Yes.
Okay. Now, that may not be how you want to do it because you might be a really financially savvy person. And some people, there's some people that choose 15-year mortgages. There's some people that choose 30-year.
Yes.
Why would somebody choose a 15-year over a 30?
Interest.
Yeah, interest.
Exactly. So Mrs. Z, for you, if you chose the 30-year type mortgage for solar, which is just a 21-year loan and you did nothing up front, you would be paying $53 less than you are paying right now each month for your electricity. So you could take your monthly payment for your solar would be $53 less if you paid nothing up front. Now, I'm not saying that's the most financially savvy way to do it, because that's like picking the 30-year mortgage, but cash flow wise, it puts more money in your pocket each month. Now, Mr. Cook, for you, you'd be saving $32.97 over what you're paying right now. So you could take your electricity cost, if your numbers were correct, which it looks like you said 159 is your average bill. So you would pay $30 to pay yourself to own solar equipment rather than pay a never-ending utility bill. So I do have a question for you guys. Do you guys ever intend on discontinuing the use of electricity?
Yeah. Eventually, yes.
How are you going to get rid of your fridge?
I think it's just the way of the future. It's just going to have to happen because as more people move, more houses are being built. The power companies are not going to be able to probably keep up with the supply and demand.
So, fantastic. I hope that somehow maybe I just don't see humanity going backwards. Most people are going to keep a refrigerator. But if you did choose to keep lights in a fridge for the rest of your life, another way to say I'm always going to have a fridge is I'm going to pay an electricity bill until the day that I die.
Yeah.
And you guys are homeowners. Why would you choose to rent your electricity? Especially if it's going to cost you more than it would cost to pay yourself to own solar equipment. So that's the main thing. So now let's go into introductions real quick, and that will open it up for you guys to ask any like specific questions you have. think I'm going to start with, I'm trying something different tonight, and I should have done introductions in the beginning, but either way, here's how our intros go. It's name, what your name is, where you are in the world, who you came here to support, and you can answer, if someone were to give you a free set of solar panels, what would you need to know before you would let them install them on your property? So it's on the screen if you can't remember the question, but it's name, where you're located, and who you came to support. And if someone was going to give you a free set of solar panels, what would you need to know before you would say, all right, let's install those things? Mr. Cook, how about you first?
Name is Alex Cook in St. Petersburg, Florida. Organization is the Fifth Avenue Church of Christ. And I would want to know how secure the panels would be as far as the mounting, and how would that affect the plywood that's on the roof already.
Okay, cool. That's it. And I would absolutely love to answer that question. And before I do, Mrs. Z, would you mind introducing yourself?
Hi, I am Beatrice Zaraluki. I am here for Ethel Kohler Beckham K-8 Center, where I teach. And honestly, I think that if someone would give me a free set of solar panels, I really wouldn't ask too many questions. I'd be really happy about it, because I think it would be a great thing. So I would be like, you do it and you hook it up. I mean, I think the most thing I would do is like, how does it affect my roof, and like, will it have an effect on my roof? And but honestly, I would be super happy if someone would give me that, because I think it's I really do think it's great.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you so both of you guys just have a concern that any smart homeowner would have, which is it going to be okay for my property? Like, is it going to mess with my roof? Is it going to leak? Things like that. Is it going to be structurally sound because of the weight of the panels? And so that's fantastic, guys. I have a couple easy ways to answer those questions, but I just want to recap what we discussed before I answer those questions. One, you guys are currently paying an electricity bill that you will never ever get rid of, just like a rent payment. The alternative is paying yourself like an actual mortgage type payment to own equipment that's been around for 67 years. It was invented in 1954, comes with 25-year warranties, has 0 moving parts, and operates off free sunshine, right? So not only can you own these panels, but I'll give you guys this is a rhetorical question, but if you put a miniature power plant on your property, what do you guys think happens to the equity of your home? Yeah. And if you guys were if you guys were in the business of buying a house right now, and if you went out looking for a home, would you prefer to buy a house that comes with a $150 electricity bill, or a house that produces its own electricity?
Produces its own.
Yes. So you can Google this, but you will find that houses with solar sell for more and they sell faster. Does your electricity bill do that? Right. So what happens is the more you guys learn, the more you'll find it sounds too good to be true. What's the darn catch? Like, what's the deal here? Well, one of the catches is if you seek out solar through traditional channels, it's a little bit more expensive than we offer it for, because we don't have a brick and mortar location. We don't do like people driving around and sales prizes and salespeople. We network through churches and schools and have an educational Zoom conversation. And then we hire local electricians and roofers that are licensed and bonded to do the actual labor, and we don't mark that up, as opposed to hiring a solar company who is just going to hire licensed electricians and roofers. They're going to buy solar equipment, mark it up, and they're going to mark up financing. And it turns out to be a little bit price prohibitive, and it's not a no-brainer like it is in this instance. So, but either way, So yeah, what it really comes down to, guys, is a lot of times it's just about like, all right, as long as it's not going to damage my house and it's going to stay on after a hurricane and I have my insurance is going to cover it, well, then I can't think of any reason I would want to continue to pay rent rather than pay myself a mortgage. And then instead of us chasing you guys to go solar, you guys have a sense of urgency because you realize that every month that goes by is another month you're paying rent when you could be paying mortgage to yourself. You know, think about 6 more months is another like $600 to $800 that is given to the utility company that could have been used to pay down your solar. So here's a quick video. It might have, I should have pulled this up earlier, but this is a 1-minute video of a solar installation that might help you with your, I don't know where it went. Oh, here we go. That might help you with understanding what it would look like. A solar install, guys, takes like 1 or 2 days. So it's not like a kitchen remodel where you got people in your house for 2 weeks making a big mess. It's like, it's mostly outside and it takes 1 or 2 days. Make sure I've got the sound on.
That face that is usually covered by her phone has finally...
There we go.
Prepping the roof for solar panels. Here, the team of 3 installers are placing racks on the roof that will hold the 24 solar panels.
Oh, it won't let me, okay.
Step 2, connecting the panels to
There we go.
the solar panel. 3 installers are placing racks.
So, okay, here's the question about like anything blowing off your roof during a hurricane. So every local county has codes based on building in that region. Up north, it's way more about the structural integrity of the weight of a roof because you have the weight of snow on top of panels. Whereas down south in Florida, the building codes for your local jurisdiction are going to be more focused on wind speed requirements because you guys don't get snow loads, right? And so in Florida, what would happen is the engineers would actually just place attachments more often because the more attachment points, the stronger it will be. And as far as the attachment points are concerned, they're really elegant and they will not leak. And I have like a minute video to show you how that works too. That's up close. So you can see, wow, that's really cool. I guess we have had solar for 67 years. We figured some things out, but yeah.
Racks on the roof that will hold the 24 solar panels. Step 2, connecting the panels to the roof. The panels are mounted on the racking equipment and will soon begin to generate solar
So I guess
electricity. They are connected to a string inverter that converts solar energy into usable electricity. Solar panels are lightweight and very durable. They require no maintenance and they last more than 30 years. The Foremans purchased their...
So we don't know how long solar panels last because the first ones still work, but that's a nice thing. We didn't make this video, somebody else did. I just wanted to share with you guys, but being a Floridian, what do you guys think would happen to your house as far as the heat in your house because it's got a solar panel array across the top of it? Does it make sense that if you have solar panels blocking your roof from direct sunshine, that not only would your shingles last a lot longer, but that air gap in between would dissipate a ton of heat that otherwise would be sent into your attic and into your house?
Yeah.
So your air conditioner bills get to go down, your roof will last longer. The attachment points that are underneath the panels are covered by the panels. So all you'll really have is water running over top of the shingles. And if I showed you that video in a moment, it's another 1 minute quick snippet. I think you'll recognize that, you know, the roof penetrations and leaks and things flying away. I mean, it's 2021. People wouldn't have solar panels on their roof if it was. But thank you guys for being curious and paying attention. I really appreciate your attention.
System and will break even in just 5 years. By going solar, they will...
So people say, what's the ROI, you know, when you break even, things like that. We don't talk about solar in that way because it's like comparing apples to oranges. What's the return on your investment for your current electricity bill, guys?
0.
Yeah, negative 100 every month, right? If you want to really answer the question, when's my ROI? It's the day your system's activated because you've spent less on it, especially if you buy it from an organization who's not marking everything up, than the equity increase in your home. So you actually, it's like people that are going to sell their house. They might not have done home maintenance in 20 years, but they paint the house and they redo the floors, you know. And why do they do that? Because they actually get a return on that investment. They sell the house for more than it costs them to do the upkeep and repairs. And that's similar with solar. If you buy it and if you don't overpay for it, you will add more value to your house than it costs, and your return on your investments day one. Just some concepts to consider.
Will save $2,250 on electric bills annually. They also avoid nearly 7 tons of carbon, which is equal to planting 127 trees every year. And it took less than a day to install. Find out your solar savings potential. Get an instant estimate or check out the Solar Gallery for more solar systems at work at EnergySage.com.
We always like putting in a plug for Energy Sage because it's a place where you can go and get multiple quotes. And it's funny because like we get stuff like this all the time. We love it when people get other quotes because then the people are just like, what's the difference between you guys? By the way, I checked out Energy Sage and they give multiple quotes. It's like the price line of solar. And you're right, the first one was about 150% of the quote from you guys. So it's like taking an Uber to the airport. It's less expensive than a taxi because you're working with a fellow human and you're riding in their vehicle, right? We're working through community organizations and trust is high. So we don't have to have salespeople sit in your house for 2 hours to convince you of it. We just need you guys to pay attention for like 15 minutes so you can see that you're currently using an antiquated technology. Mrs. Z, Mr. Cook, can you guys think of anything that you found in the last like couple years that changed your life? Last night, it was an air fryer for one of the moms. Like any piece of technology that's changed your life.
Slow cooker and air fryer definitely top of my list too.
So, but don't you guys remember all the stuff this dude has in his hands? Yeah, but definitely. Would you ever go buy a camcorder today or a handheld calculator?
No.
It's in your smartphone now, right? So why in the world would you continue to pay more money to somebody to burn things for you to make your electricity a couple 100 miles away when you could own a piece of equipment that you can have on site? Think about how resilient you would be. You generate electricity where you live rather than 200 miles away, separated by a bunch of vulnerable power lines. Last time the power went out, think about how life stopped. It's like, darn, what are we going to do now? Right? And so if you did want to keep the lights on after a hurricane, that's what a battery's for. And we can talk to you guys about batteries. Feel free to ask more questions here. But if you did want to go solar, the process is simple. You just get to finish learning, right? And how you finish learning is you click that link in the Zoom. And if you guys like, you're really passionate, I could tell you love this, but I'm not really sure what you want me to do. Like, I would love it if you guys would click the link in the chat and pick a time to meet back with us so we can look at your actual energy usage and then get the exact number of panels that you need so you know exactly how much you're losing by not using solar energy. Because when you guys go to the dentist, what do they do before you leave?
Schedule another appointment.
Yeah, and it's not that you don't want to, like, it's just kind of one of those things where it's just like, yeah, life is busy, we're going to forget. Let's go ahead and just put this in our future so we can get it done. But yeah, I mean, that's what we're about, is helping get it done. We'd like to live in a world that's not fueled by fire, but it's connected by light. And that begins by busy humans taking the time out to really explore and figure out how many panels. Do I want a battery? Do I not want a battery? Do I want to pay cash? Do I want to pay zero down? Do I want to do a 15-year type mortgage and pay it off in like 5 or 12 years? You get to pick. It's literally like 30 minutes to an hour left of really diving into your individual situation before you're like, that's it, let's do it. After that, it's going to take like a month to 4 months to get it done, even though the install takes a day to 3 days. And the reason is because there's engineer drawings that have to be prepared. There's permits that have to be pulled. We have to interconnect with Duke and Florida Power and Light. There's a bunch of paperwork and bureaucratic stuff that has to get done. So you're still going to be paying rent for a couple of months, even if you acted today. So either way, that's my request is please go into that chat, pick a time, put that dentist appointment in your future, and let's do this together, because you don't have to choose us to go solar. At least get your quote tight, and then go get 5 or 6 other ones. So, and if you want, we'll help you actually look at those and go, okay, well, they were using a string inverter and we were using micro inverters, or they didn't have batteries here where we had batteries here, or they used a really small battery bank, or that's actually a great quote, Mr. Cook, you should go with that. I don't know how they're offering a better deal, but we're going to reach out to them and partner with them. So, either way, allow us to help you with your solar exploration process. We designed this with our moms in mind. Like, if our moms were going to go solar, how would we want them to experience it? And we like our moms. So just to be clear about that. As far as aesthetics, nobody mentioned it. Mrs. Z, check this out, all black solar panels, right? So they don't have to be silver. You can actually have just jet black, super low profile. You can have it mounted in the ground if you want. You can have a solar pergola. People love the solar pergola. It's just a beautiful thing. You can cover your entire roof and really cut down on your air conditioning bills. Pretty cool. This is actually Luke's dad's house. Pretty sweet. If you don't like the way the all black ones look, you can take a picture of your roof and we can match it with a solar skin so they blend in.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can do it any way you want. There's all sorts of fun stuff going on. But did anything come up for you guys in relation to, so everybody's clear, you can delete your electricity bill by producing more during the day, selling it to the electricity company, using the credits after dark. The only thing that you need a battery for is if the power is out, then that a battery is like a backup generator that doesn't need gas. It gets filled up with free sunshine. Otherwise, if the power's out, your power's out too, even if it's sunny outside. Any clue why that would be the case? I have solar panels. It's sunny outside. Why is my power not working?
I wouldn't know.
What happens to the extra energy that you produce during the day?
We gave it back.
Yep, you send it back onto the power lines. And after a hurricane, what are you hoping the power company's doing to the broken power lines?
Repair.
Yep. So if there's somebody out here repairing them and you're sending it up the power line, it's dangerous.
Yep.
So your solar equipment is designed to shut down if the utility grid is not sending a signal to your house. And that's what the battery would be for. It allows you to open the circuit to the grid and actually become a microgrid where you can produce what you need during the day. The excess goes into your battery instead of to the power lines. And then when the sun goes down, the panels don't do anything, but the battery runs stuff. And then when the sun comes back up, you can run your home and recharge your battery, and it becomes a circle. And so a battery is like a quiet generator with no moving parts and runs off free sunshine. So, and you'll actually get your quote tomorrow, and it'll have a tab at the bottom for the standard option and a tab at the bottom for the battery option. So you can see the difference in price for one that allows you to keep the lights on and one that doesn't. And on every page, there's also that link. If for some reason you just knew you wanted to set up your dentist appointment, but for some reason you didn't tonight, there's a link on there. You can actually click it. But again, that's my hopes and dreams is I do a good enough job on these Zoom calls where everybody that comes picks a day, picks a time, and actually says, put your name in, put your email in, say, John, I like that solar pergola you showed me. And then schedule the event, and you'll get a reminder, just like the dentist's office shoots you a reminder so you remember it's going to be over Zoom. Nobody's going to come to your house. And that would be fantastic. So I know I rambled a lot. I'm going to get better at these guys. I'm open to feedback too. But any questions based on what we chatted about today?
No, not at all.
Okay, well, thank you guys for being here. And Mr. Cook, I think you're the first person to come through from Fifth Avenue.
I'll let everybody else know.
Okay, what are you going to tell them, just out of curiosity?
I'm just going to tell them that It's something that we need to look at because people, sometimes with churches, finances is a big issue. And if we can help them save money, then that helps them to be a better person as well. Coming to church worrying about money is not really what you want to be doing. You want to have a grip on your money. And as scripture says, you don't want to be throwing, good after bad, or throwing your pearls out to the swine.
Yes, sir. You don't have to read into Genesis too long before you learn that the light is good. The light is good. And now we can get free sunshine. So thank you for coming. And just to be clear, you didn't have to, because you guys showed up and engaged in this conversation, $50 is going to the organizations you came here to support. And there's a lot of, $50 isn't a small amount of resources to engage in an educational conversation about a technology that's been around for 67 years and could change the world. So, to bring this full circle, remember, you make a big difference, and you guys continuing your solar exploration journey, making the transition and setting an example for your community and your neighbors. That's what's really going to make the shift here. And if what I'm saying is true and you guys are losing money if you chose an expensive financing option, then, please get to the bottom of it. Try to find something, but explore.
Okay. Well, and Mrs. Z, I'm kind of curious. So Mrs. Z, I'm kind of curious. Why'd you
Yes.
go ahead and pick a time why'd you decide to go ahead and pick a time to continue your solar exploration?
Oh, because I think it would be a good thing. I mean, I think it's good. I think it's beneficial. And if I can save money in the long run. Oh, my phone died.
Oh. No, you're still here.
My phone died.
You're still here.
Yeah, I'll review it with my wife and let her know.
That sounds wonderful. We can't wait to hang out with you. Happy Wednesday.
Yep.